A young man stands in a busy city square. He holds a white paper cup. Steam rises into the cold morning air. He takes a long drink and sighs. This simple drink helps him start his day. Around him, thousands of people do the same thing. This small cup of dark liquid connects us all. Why we feel we need it. How did a small red fruit change the whole world? Millions of people drink coffee every single morning. It is the second most traded product on earth. We see coffee shops on every corner of our cities. But few people know that coffee was once a secret. It was a strange plant in a hidden forest. That small bean would eventually create a global habit worth billions of dollars. This is the story of how coffee conquered the human mind. Deep in the green mountains of Ethiopia, the air is thick and warm. A young goat herder named Kaldi walks through the trees. He notices his goats are acting very strange. They are jumping and dancing with high energy. They are eating small red berries from a dark green bush. Kaldi picks a few berries and tastes them. Soon, he is dancing along with his goats. He feels a sudden rush of power in his body. His mind feels sharp and awake. He takes the berries to a local monk in a nearby monastery. The monk looks at the berries with suspicion. He thinks they might be dangerous or evil. He throws the berries into a large fire to destroy them. But then, a beautiful smell fills the small stone room. The berries roast in the heat of the flames. The smell is rich, deep, and inviting. The monks pull the roasted seeds from the fire. They crush them and mix them with hot water. They drink the dark liquid and stay awake for hours. They find they can pray long into the night without feeling tired. This was the first cup of coffee in human history. For a long time, coffee remained a local secret. It stayed within the borders of East Africa and Yemen. People in Yemen began to grow the plants in organized gardens. They called the drink kawa, which meant that which prevents sleep. It was a tool for the mind and the spirit. It helped people focus on their work and their faith. In the busy port of Mocha, merchants began to notice the drink. They saw how it gave people energy during the long day. Ships began to carry the beans across the sea to distant lands. By the 1500s, coffee reached the great city of Istanbul. The city was a center of trade and new ideas. Here, the very first coffee houses began to open their doors. Imagine a room filled with thick rugs and low tables. Men sit together and talk about politics and art. They drink coffee from small ceramic cups. Before coffee, most people drank ale or wine with their meals. This meant people were often a little tired or confused. But coffee changed the way people interacted with each other. People became more talkative and more alert. They stayed in these shops for hours to share news. These places became known as schools of the wise. This system encouraged people to think and debate. It was a new kind of social space. It was not a home, and it was not a place of work. It was something entirely new for society. As the Ottoman Empire grew, so did the fame of coffee. Travelers from Europe visited Istanbul and tasted the dark drink. They described it as a black liquid made from soot. Some thought it looked like ink and tasted like old leather. But they could not ignore the way it made them feel. They brought the beans back to Venice, London, and Paris. In London, the first coffee house opened in 1652. It was a tiny shack in a busy churchyard. Within a few years, there were hundreds of them across the city. Each coffee house had its own special group of customers. Some were for sailors and merchants. Others were for poets, scientists, or bankers. One famous coffee house was owned by a man named Edward Lloyd. Sailors went there to hear news about ships and storms. Over time, this small coffee shop became a massive insurance company. Another shop became the center for the London Stock Exchange. The energy of coffee was fueling the energy of modern business. People were no longer drinking to forget. They were drinking to think. But not everyone was happy about this new dark drink. Some leaders felt worried about people gathered in groups. They feared that too much talking would lead to trouble. In 1675, the King of England tried to ban all coffee houses. He claimed they were places where people spread false news. He wanted people to stay home and stay quiet. The public reaction was immediate and very loud. Thousands of men protested the ban. They loved their coffee and they loved their conversation. The king realized he could not stop the coffee revolution. He canceled the ban after only 11 days. Coffee had become more powerful than the laws of the land. It was now a permanent part of the culture. During this time, the world was changing quickly. The old way of life was based on the sun and the seasons. People worked on farms and slept when it got dark. But the rise of factories changed everything. New machines needed people to work long, precise hours. Workers needed to be alert and follow a strict schedule. Coffee fits perfectly into this new industrial world. It helped people adjust to the rhythm of the machine. Instead of drinking beer for breakfast, workers drank hot coffee. This made them safer and more productive in the factories. The system of the coffee break began to emerge. It was a small moment of rest that allowed for more work later. But as the demand for coffee grew, the world faced a problem. Coffee only grew in certain warm climates. For a long time, the Arab world controlled the supply of beans. They were very careful to keep the seeds secret. They did not want other countries to grow their own plants. They wanted to maintain their control over the coffee trade. However, the desire for coffee was too strong to stop. A Dutch traveler managed to steal a few coffee plants. He took them to the island of Java in Indonesia. The climate there was perfect for the dark green bushes. Soon, the Dutch were producing massive amounts of coffee. They shipped it all over the world, making a huge fortune. The French also wanted a piece of the coffee world. A naval officer named Gabriel de Clou wanted to bring coffee to the Caribbean. He took a small plant on a long journey across the Atlantic Ocean. The trip was very difficult and dangerous. There was a terrible storm, and water became very scarce on the ship. De Clou shared his own drinking water with the small plant. He sacrificed his own comfort to keep the coffee alive. He finally reached the island of Martinique and planted the seed. Within 50 years, there were millions of coffee trees on the island. From there, coffee spread to Brazil and the rest of Central America. Brazil eventually became the largest coffee producer in the world. The landscape of the country was transformed by rows of coffee plants. This created a new global system of trade. Coffee was grown in the south and consumed in the north. It became a bridge between different parts of the planet. It connected the farmer in the sun to the office worker in the rain. By the 1800s, coffee was no longer just for the rich. It was a drink for everyone. In the United States, coffee became a symbol of independence. After the Boston Tea Party, drinking tea was seen as a sign of being loyal to England. To show their freedom, Americans switched to drinking coffee. It became the drink of the new republic and the brave pioneers. Soldiers in the Civil War carried coffee in their bags. They valued it more than their food or their blankets. They would often grind the beans with the butts of their rifles. A hot cup of coffee gave them comfort during the cold nights of war. It was a small reminder of home and a way to keep going. As we moved into the 1900s, science began to look at coffee. Researchers wanted to understand what gave the drink its power. They discovered a small molecule called caffeine. Caffeine is a natural chemical that protects the plant from insects. But in the human brain, it does something very different. It blocks a chemical called adenosine. Adenosine is what makes us feel tired at the end of the day. When we drink coffee, the caffeine takes the place of the tired signal. Our brain thinks it has plenty of energy, even if we are exhausted. It is like a small trick played on our internal clock. This discovery led to the creation of instant coffee. During the World Wars, governments needed a way to give coffee to millions of soldiers. They developed a powder that could turn into coffee with just hot water. This made coffee even more convenient and faster to drink. It moved from the coffee house into the family kitchen. In the 1950s, the coffee break became an official part of the workday. Companies realized that a short break made workers more efficient. It was a simple exchange. The company gave the workers 10 minutes of free time. In return, the workers were more focused for the next few hours. This system helped the modern office function smoothly. But the story of coffee was about to change again. In the late 20th century, coffee became more than just a tool for work. It became a luxury and a lifestyle. In a small shop in Seattle, a company called Starbucks began to grow. They did not just sell coffee, they sold an experience. They brought back the idea of the old Italian espresso bar. They used Italian words like latte and cappuccino. The coffee shop became a third place. It was a place between home and work where people could relax. It felt cozy, with soft music and comfortable chairs. People were willing to pay much more for a cup of coffee that felt special. Today, we are in a new era of coffee culture. We care about where the beans come from and how they are grown. We talk about the notes of the coffee like we talk about wine. We might taste chocolate, fruit, or flowers in a single cup. This focus on quality has created a massive industry of specialty coffee. Baristas are now like artists. They use precise scales and thermometers to make the perfect cup. They pour milk into beautiful heart shapes on top of the drink. This shows how much we value this simple dark liquid. It is no longer just a way to wake up. It is a way to appreciate the world and the craft of the farmer. But the global coffee system still faces many challenges. Climate change is making it harder to grow coffee in traditional areas. As the world gets warmer, the coffee plants must move higher up the mountains. This creates pressure on the environment and on the families who grow the beans. Many young people in coffee-growing countries are moving to the cities. They see that growing coffee is a very difficult and risky job. The price of coffee on the global market changes every single day. This makes it hard for a farmer to plan for the future. We are now seeing a movement toward fair trade. This system encourages buyers to pay a stable price to the farmers. It helps ensure that coffee will be around for the next generation. Despite these challenges, our love for coffee continues to grow. We now drink over 2 billion cups of coffee every single day. It is a shared human experience that crosses every border. Whether you're in a skyscraper in Tokyo or a small village in Peru, coffee is there. It is a universal language that we all understand. Think about your own morning routine. You might walk to the kitchen while it is still dark. You hear the sound of the water boiling. You smell the rich aroma as the coffee starts to brew. That first warm sip feels like a small miracle. It wakes up your senses and prepares you for the world. This daily habit connects you to a very long history. You are part of a chain that goes back to a goat herder in Ethiopia. You are walking in the footsteps of the monks and the sailors. You are sharing a moment with the scientists and the poets of the past. Coffee has been a silent partner in human progress for centuries. It has fueled the ideas that built our modern world. It has sat on the tables of the great thinkers and the hard workers. It has provided comfort in times of war and energy in times of peace. It is a drink that demands focus but also encourages rest. It is a beautiful contradiction in a cup. Coffee also shows us how global trade works. Every bean has traveled thousands of miles to reach your hand. It has passed through the hands of pickers, sorters, and roasters. It has traveled on trucks and massive ships across the ocean. This simple product relies on a huge and complex system of cooperation. When we look at a cup of coffee, we see more than just a drink. We see the story of human curiosity and our desire to improve. We see how a small plant can change our chemistry and our culture. We see the history of trade, power, and social change. Coffee is a mirror that reflects the way we live. As we look to the future, the coffee revolution will likely continue. We are finding new ways to brew it and new flavors to enjoy. We're learning how to grow it more sustainably and fairly. But the core of the experience remains the same. It is a moment of connection with ourselves and with others. Perhaps coffee is so popular because it matches the pace of modern life. We live in a world that is fast and always on. We need something to help us keep up with the machines and the screens. Coffee provides that bridge between our natural bodies and our high-speed society. It helps us feel like we can handle the challenges of the day. But maybe the real secret of coffee is the pause it provides. Even in a busy day, a cup of coffee forces us to stop for a moment. We wait for it to brew, and we wait for it to cool. In those few minutes, we can breathe and think. We can look out the window or talk to a friend. In a world that never stops, coffee gives us a reason to slow down. The next time you hold a cup of coffee, take a moment to look at it. Notice the dark color and the rising steam. Remember the long journey those beans took to reach you. Think of the millions of people who are doing the exact same thing at that very moment. You are part of a global community held together by a single drink. The coffee revolution was not just about a plant or a business. It was about how we want to feel and how we want to live. It changed our mornings, our workplaces, and our friendships. It helped create the modern world, one cup at a time. And as long as we have mountains and sun, the story of coffee will never truly end. Our addiction to coffee is more than just a need for caffeine. It is an addiction to the ritual and the connection it brings. It is a part of our identity as modern humans. We have taken a wild berry from a forest and turned it into a global necessity. That is a truly remarkable human achievement. History shows us that systems like this rarely disappear. They only evolve and change shape. Coffee has survived bans, wars, and changing tastes. It has adapted to every new century with ease. It seems that as long as humans need to think and work, we will need our coffee. Do you think our society could function without coffee today? Imagine if every coffee shop closed and every bean disappeared tomorrow. How would our offices and our cities change? It is a strange thought, because coffee feels like the fuel for our entire system. It is the invisible energy that keeps the world moving. Write your thoughts about your own relationship with coffee in the comments. Do you drink it for the taste, or do you need it to wake up? Every person has their own unique coffee story. And if this story of a simple bean surprised you, the history of how sugar changed the world may surprise you even more.